If you've marveled at a gemstone's vivid colors or felt the snap of a powerful magnet, you're experiencing the unique properties of transition metals. Before those colors or magnetic forces emerge, a transition metal atom sits in a state of microscopic peace. In its outer shell, it has 5 distinct compartments for its electrons, called d orbitals. At this baseline state, all 5 sit at the exact same energy level, meaning they are degenerate. But that peace is fragile. In a chemical reaction, other molecules or ions, called ligands, rush in and surround the central metal to form what is known as a coordination complex. This introduces a direct conflict, which is the core premise of crystal field theory. The metal's electrons have negative charges, and the incoming ligands also carry negative electron clouds. Since like charges repel each other, these ligands act like an invading force, aggressively pushing against the metal's own electrons. This subatomic crowding forces a shift in the atom's ground state, creating an environment where energy levels must redefine themselves. The repulsion from the invaders isn't distributed evenly. Because of the exact 3D geometry of the atom, some of those 5 electron compartments point directly into the path of the incoming ligands, taking a heavy hit, while others point safely into the gaps between them. This diagram illustrates exactly what happens under that uneven pressure. The original 5 equal orbitals fracture. They physically split into 2 distinct energy levels, a lower, safer set called the T2G orbitals, and a higher, high-pressure set called the EG orbitals. For any incoming electron trying to settle into this atom, this split creates an immediate dilemma. They are forced to navigate 2 distinct energy paths. To understand how an electron makes that choice, you have to remember that nature seeks the absolute lowest energy state, the path of least resistance. The first path involves jumping up to the new, higher orbitals. The cost to make that jump is called the Crystal Field Splitting Energy, or delta O. It is an energy toll the electron has to pay to clear the barrier. The size of this gap depends entirely on the identity of the invading ligands. According to a ranking called the spectrochemical series, weak field ligands create a tiny, easily jumpable gap. Strong field ligands force the gap to expand into a formidable hurdle. So if the gap is too high, the electron might just stay on the lower level, but that incurs the second cost, pairing energy. Staying low means the electron must share a cramped orbital with another negatively charged electron, generating a repulsive friction. The electron is caught in a thermodynamic tug-of-war. It must either pay the toll to jump or pay the toll to share. This textbook excerpt lays out the mathematical rules that resolve the standoff. The electron simply calculates which cost is higher and takes the cheaper route. Let's look at a scenario with strong field ligands, where the splitting energy is greater than the pairing energy. Because the gap to the upper level is too wide, it's energetically cheaper for the electrons to suffer the repulsion and pair up at the bottom. When electrons are forced to cram together like this, the resulting molecule is defined as a low-spin complex. In the opposite scenario with weak field ligands, the gap shrinks. Now the splitting energy is less than the pairing energy. Instead of paying the penalty to share space, the electrons easily hop to the upper level and spread out alone. Because the electrons secure their own individual spaces, this structure is defined as a high-spin complex. The internal architecture of a coordination complex follows this predictable mathematical path to avoid unnecessary energy expenditure. We are talking about minute, invisible forces happening at a scale we can barely comprehend. So how do scientists actually know this tiny tug-of-war is taking place? They look at magnetic susceptibility. The way a material reacts to a magnet in the real world is the direct, observable proof of its internal energy state. Take high-spin complexes, where the small gap allowed the electrons to easily spread out across the upper and lower levels. This leaves the atom with a high number of unpaired solo electrons. Every single unpaired electron generates its own tiny magnetic field. When you add several of them together, they make the entire substance paramagnetic, meaning it is forcefully attracted to outside magnets. But in low-spin complexes, the pronounced gap forced the electrons to pair up at the bottom. When 2 electrons share an orbital, they naturally spin in opposite directions, canceling out each other's magnetic pull. This canceled-out state makes the complex diamagnetic, meaning it will actually weakly repel a magnetic field. Furthermore, that exact same energy gap determines which specific wavelengths of light the molecule absorbs to excite its electrons, reflecting the leftover light back to our eyes. The vivid colors and magnetic behaviors we observe in daily life are the visible results of this microscopic thermodynamic tug-of-war.